from parts unknown. As you can see, I got in my thumbnail that there's no return. Trump's back in Florida. And the Ninth Circuit SmackDown sent shivers. Oh, what do I mean by that? Well, it wasn't just the Ninth Circuit that sent shivers. There's a lot of things people are shivering over. And the world has been focused, as it should be, on this historic moment with DJT. So as we wait for people to get into the chats, I will go through some headlines. And I listened to Mr. T's return speech. And he mentioned currency collapse. Going over that soon also. He's been also talked about new world alliances. And he also discussed what was happening with other countries as far as trade and sharing influence. So he said nobody, other president, if you took all the worst ones combined, and he's been saying that for a long time. So as we wait for people to get in, I am showing you, hi, let's see, who all's here? Oh my goodness, a whole lot of people. Doesn't show very many on my wolf packs here. How you doing? You're part of the coffee club, coffee crowd. That's Bubba came up with Mountaineer Coffee Crowd. Donna, Sherry, Brighter Day, Quilt, Happy Days, Carol, Lucy, Angel, Damon, Honey, how are you, honey? Nora, Marla, Diamond Lil, Diane, Joan. Everybody's rolling in. Happy Days, Karen Real, Michael. Good evening, Diane. So, as I was saying, Mr. T, he took it. He let me tell you, how do you get arrested and look like a boss? You just found out. He looked like a boss. And everybody was on their P's and Q's. There may have been a few people in blue that felt like they could treat him in a undignified way, but I'm sure the word got out way ahead of time. Wasn't going to be in that going on. Wow, Diane, silver was up to 25.30. So we got Brighter Days and Happy Days in too. 25.30. So gold's is probably over two grand, isn't it? Gold's probably over $2,000. I remember I was dealing with some jewelry my mother had, and that was back when gold was at 12 to 14 an ounce. Angel said, listening to T. I just listened to a speech. So we'll go over a lot of the points that he has been. It's been beating a drum. I mean, he is repeating the same things, but now he's got the ear of the world. Okay, everybody's listening. That has any sense, any concern about for the nation, any concern about for international pressures and things that can happen in this world, the entire world. Anybody's got any sense is listening. And in my community post, I said, now we see them more clearly. And I was quoting Trump, the good, the bad, the strong, the weak, the patriotic, and the, you can finish that sentence, the unpatriotic. And I got steady, ready. That's what I had in my community post, and that's what he looks like. And he's giving people that boss look. And I can tell you he's giving every one of them. I tell you what made me nauseous. They were talking about, we're going to put a gag order on Trump, and what's he going to do? And, well, it turned out that they didn't put a gag order on. But the report was that this judge, who we'll talk about a little bit more, and Mr. T is calling these judges out, everybody by name in his speech that he gave. He was, unlike his quote indictments, he was naming specific crimes. He was naming individual names, okay, which is more than they did for him in a good majority of the what they're trying to link those 34 counts for. So it's universally been stated by every member of the press, people on the right, people on the left, that this is never before seen, indefensible, and it needs to be gotten rid of. Now, of course, the MSNBC and all those lily-livered whatever they are saying, oh, it's such a sad day. Oh, it's such a terrible day. Well, you're the ones that caused it, okay? You're the ones that caused it. It's been a terrible 7 years, okay, because of the division you all have caused. You and that cronyism with politicians to create a atmosphere of hatred for Donald J. Trump. And what made me so incensed, which I quickly settled down because we know what they're trying to do and they're not going to get away with it. But reportedly, the judge cautioned Mr. Trump, President Trump, to refrain from saying anything that might incite violence. Well, you remember all the stuff we heard from Chuck Schumer saying the Supreme Court would reap the whirlwind. You remember when Maxine Waters said, when they go anywhere, anytime, you tell them they're not welcome. You remember, we remember it. We'll never forget. And that's on my thumbnail. We'll never forget. And that's just one little bit of the garbage they stirred up. And so they're saying it's a sad day. Well, it'll be a great day when some press credentials start getting yanked under the Truth and Reconciliation Act. Okay. But anyway, all right, let me, who am I missing? I just go on these flights of fancy, you know, and of course, I say, hey, we'll be peaceful. We have a quiet fury. And as I said in my broadcast last night, you got to keep an eye, or night before last, keep an eye out for the one that's quiet and very angry, okay? Because that's when you got a problem. That's when you might have pushed it just a little too far. And that's where we're at right now. Hi, Linda. Let me see who all is in. Hi, Gary. How you doing? Caroline. And Angel, if I miss anybody, forgive me. Doing the best I can. I don't know if I say people's names twice, and sometimes we have two people with the same name. Hi, Linda. Linda Darlene. Whoa, boy, these chats are flying. Care, how are you doing? Jersey Joe. Hi, Cindy. So I'm all the way down the bottom. They just shot across the screen. Did I say hi to you, Sherry? Hi, Phil. Jason, how you doing, Jason? So we got everybody's rolling good. So anyway, we got to start seeing some press credentials, but I'm taking heart in the fact that they're reporting the ones who have been so visceral and so manipulative with their words that they are not putting up some kind of phony defense for what these people have been doing. But anyway, I had some things I was going to go through real quick before I started going on my soliloquy. Here's DC Drano, and this tape here he has up on his Truth and Last Word Social. And there it is. He said the quiet part out loud. Biden all but confirmed that his team is coordinating these Trump indictments to stop Trump from taking power again. And that is what he said. I get where I don't have a studio full of pictures and news to give. I'll do a clip of that, but I'm sure, especially with sophisticated individuals such as yourself, you probably already heard him babble that. We're just going to keep him out of power. Okay, the resident moron. That's what Diane says. So let's see, and maybe Nikki will make it in tonight. You know, hopefully she put some aloe vera. I said aloe vera on that sunburn. That's a good one. Now we got other things that's going on, and we can't let our quiet fury distract us from being able to correlate and collate in a reasonable way in our minds what is happening elsewhere in this world and around the world and in our nation so we can talk to our friends. Here's a little symbol well, I would say the event and the aftermath is a symbol of hope. That thing you're looking on the screen is a symbol of something else, okay? Now, they say this was a pro-Trans event, right? And they all stormed the State House. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. I'll just be a second. And they stopped business. They blathered, they shoved people around, and did all this stuff. Put up their SATAN-ic signs and sang. But this thing you're looking on the screen there, that is a symbol we're all familiar with of an entity that goes back ages, okay? That's not a TRANNY, okay? That is Satan, okay? A symbolic. Well, the event that gives heart is from Citizen Free Press, that they're getting arrested for insurrection. Okay, turnabout is fair play. They're doing this facial recognition. They're actually seeing people on video that have committed specific acts that are unlawful, and they're going to get them. Oh, that's right, Phil. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, folks. Ha ha. You just drop that little thumb thing, you touch it and it changes color. Hey, it helps the video get out. Like I said, don't keep me all to yourself. So anyway, so if you got people that say, oh, you're exaggerating, and people can love whoever they want and all this kind of garbage, here's a video you can look up. Make a note of it, but if you can't remember, just come back to the 11:30 mark in this video. Here it is. Vlad Savuchuk, okay? This is on Utizzle. It's on Utizzle, and I'm hoping it doesn't get taken down. But I've already said it 50 times on my broadcast that the U.S. Navy has a church named after that, and that they're suing because the reversal or the sending Roe v. Wade to the court, to the states, interferes with their rituals. Okay, but people, they just don't, now you're not telling the truth. I'm not, okay. Well, we'll just keep dumping videos like this on them. Here, take 14 minutes of your life if you care 1 ounce for other human beings, okay? And if you can't get in your head what they could not get in their head in Sodom, and the other word is Gomorrah, and what they couldn't get in their head when they were banging on the side of Noah's boat. So they want to be like that? That's fine. Just remember, Christ wanted people to come to him, to listen to him. He had open arms, but you had to come to him. And the Pharisees and the doubters and the ones who tried to trip him up with sneaky questions, they weren't coming to him. They were coming after him. So that's when he doesn't know you, okay? He's not going to come looking for somebody he doesn't know. So this remodeling of Christ as a person who is begging everybody to love everybody no matter what, this misconception can be destroyed with that. And as he said, for those who turn their back on me, this is a paraphrase, for those who turn their back on me, it will be worse for them than the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. So, yeah, he's there. He's there. You have to look for him. You have to ask for him, and you have to join with him, not the other way around. So anyway, here I went again. But here's a meme for you. If people talk about, and the other thing was, it went so well today. There was such a mass of people there, and they were so well, I won't say behaved. They were so well steadied and ready, steady and ready. And they supported the president. They supported the country, and they gave us all a really good look. But now the other side can't say that. Okay, when the people who rioted in 2020 said we need to respect the rule of law, they laughed because you look at what it was like. Okay, what it was like. And ever since the ride down the golden escalator. And I can tell you one thing, Bragg, he gave a press conference and he looked so vapid. And he's just trying to rationalize the ridiculous. And it was really comforting to watch that he was not comfortable. And I'll tell you, the big name everybody's been hearing now that nobody's been allowed to talk about, SOR, and the other two letters are OS, okay, has been dumped out on the world stage for that bucket has been kicked over and dumped out on the world stage. There it is, SORROS, okay? And being as one of the root causes of this, and hey, somebody picked up that phone and told Bragg, listen, I don't care what you got to do. You get that thing to go through. And if that doesn't tell you somebody's scared, nothing will. And I'll tell you, here's a story we're going to take a look at. Not tonight, but I'm going to go deeper into it. I don't know how deep I have to go. But Jack Posobiec put up this guy wanted for a bond violation. Nobody, I was so busy checking everything else. But this is a Democrat, I guess, operative or employee or staffer or maybe attorney, I don't know. Former chief of staff, that's who it was, to Larry Hogan, wanted as a fugitive, DIESs in a SHOOT out with the Fibby outside Nashville, okay? And how many of you all have heard about this? This person violated his bond and wouldn't surrender, and bang, 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 and he's no longer with us, okay? Now, could this be one of the types that Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about? I don't know. Breaking. Former Chief of Staff Larry Hogan wanted as fugitive perishes in a shootout with FBI outside Nashville. McGrath was indicted in 2021 after being accused of stealing over $275,000 from the state government, falsifying documents, and other criminal activity. So, yeah, we're going to see about that and what other things he may have been involved in that would cause somebody to end it. He knew, he had to know. He had to know he wasn't walking away from that. He had to know. So, they all want to control our GUNs, right? Because there's nonsense like this, and the fact that, like in cities like Chicago, there are MASS shootings every weekend, okay? Yes, the school was horrible. Yes, the 4th of July was horrible. Yes, the other school was horrible. But it happens every weekend, okay? But I guess it doesn't matter to them because they can keep using those to take the weapons of honest people who just want to feel safe and take care of themselves. I'm having another sip of coffee. Give me strength. But anyway, so here's something I had last night, and I didn't get a chance to put up. If you or anybody else you know shops at Target, that's the French way of saying it, Target, Traget, tell them to stop and don't go there anymore. Unless they're selling stuff you know they're losing money and, practically giving it away, because then you're tearing them down. It's like I said about Walmart. I go in there and buy lost leader items, stuff that I know they're going to lose money on, and they sell stuff like that all the time so they can bring other people in to buy other stuff. Well, I go in there and buy the lost leader stuff and I leave. But anyway, this is a father who went in and went to the boys section, and every shirt he picked up, every shirt, he's got on his shirt, God made man, and he's got a symbol of a man and woman, and everything was rainbows. You couldn't find a decent shirt for your child, your young male child, without dealing with this garbage. So, yeah, like I said, if you can't go in there and pick their pockets legally by buying stuff they put up for sale that's dirt cheap, just stay out of there altogether. And for gosh sake, stay out of the bathrooms. But anyway, I just wanted to put that up. And let's see, what else do we have here? We've got quite a bit going on. And take a screenshot of that if you want to share it with your friends. Let me center it up for you to make sure you got it all in the screen. Every day is April Fool's Day. Let me see what's going on in the chats real quick. Sadie stepped on the mute button. How did you know? No, I stepped on the mute button. Or I hit it with my finger and I didn't get it cut back on. I'm on him. I hit the wrong thing, Reba. I'll be darned. How in the world do I do that kind of thing? But anyway, that lets you know it's really live, folks. It's really live. But anyway, when this is exposed, 98% of Washington will fall. Mr. T said he loves WikiLeaks. Okay? And there's a reason. There's a reason he said that. Now, did you all catch where Don Jr. said that the Ninth Circuit Court came out and gave his daddy another victory, and they put it out today. They released it today. And let me see if I can find that that post by Don Jr. I'm sure you all have seen it. That Stormy's got to pay another $120,000. Here we go. Here we go. Donald Trump Jr. breaking. The Ninth Circuit just awarded Trump $121,962.56 in attorney's fees from Stormy Daniels. Order just released. Okay. I'll get back to that. But this is in addition to the roughly $500K she already owes him. LOL. Glad she's out there saying her T-shirt sales are booming. That's what made me think of it when I said I was going to sell T-shirts that say, "Are you stupid?" But anyway, good thing her T-shirt sales are booming. She'll be able to afford to pay Trump. F-A-F-O. But anyway, the point I was making is they don't just say, okay, we're gonna put this decision on the back of a pigeon, and whenever it lands and they open it up, that's when it's released. No, they make a very strong point of timing when they want to release things. That's why people were so upset over the Roe v. Wade leak, okay? And we still have to get to the bottom of that. And I think they already have. So things are going to be breaking loose soon. But they made a point. They know that what is happening in that courtroom in New York is historic and unprecedented. And this type of stuff's not going to be tolerated. That this is a big signal. Their whole case was built on Stormy Daniels, the whole case. And the Ninth Circuit Court, which has been historically and famously liberal, anytime the crazies wanted to get something overturned or challenged, they ran to the Ninth Circuit, okay? And Trump made all those appointments, and it's not the soft touch it used to be. It's far from it. And they made a point of releasing this SmackDown, six-figure SmackDown, the day they did this to Trump. So they can put that pipe in their pipe and smoke it, because if that ain't a hint, I don't know what to tell you. Now, around the world, people are paying attention to this, and memes are flying from everywhere you can think of. But one thing Trump said was that we're going to have a currency crash, okay? Here's a meme I had yesterday, right here. Right here. There's three of the big ones right there. India, Russia, CHYNA, right? Saying good night or rest in peace. Haha, the doughboy. Fat Album. I say I have to show him some respect. I'm going to call him Mr. Fat Body from now on. Mr. Fat Body. Breitbart's carrying the story. I missed it. But I guess I'll see it. Let me see. What story did I miss in the chats? How long was my volume off? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Yeah, Stormy's going to need a second job. Deep State doesn't want my voice to be heard. That's right, Gary. Okay, let's see. Well, they're going to have to listen to it. It's like I said last night, what Jack Posobiec put out a big thing on T Social. They can't gag us all. So, yeah, Fat Body, Mr. Fat Body, Tennessee. That's, do you remember the coffee crowd too? But anyway, that's what I had a friend of mine who used to call people, listen, Mr. Fat Body, Mr. 2x4 couldn't get through the bathroom door. You remember that? You remember that song, guys, from school? Fatty, 2x4 couldn't get through the bathroom door. Fatty and Skinny had a race all the way around a pillowcase. Skinny fell down and broke his face. Fatty went on and won the race. Something like that. Here we go. They don't know how ridiculous they look, do they? They don't know how ridiculous they look. But they're starting to realize it. And the ones who are just, like I said, the casual Trump haters, they're starting to come around. And it's like, look, what side do you want to be on? What side? You want to be on what you're looking at on the screen there? plus, wait a minute, plus this. This, is that what you want to be? Is that where you want to be? That's what we got to get down to people. We got a little fringe of about 10, 12% that we need to pull over, and there's going to be another 10, 12% that's just hopeless, and they can stay hopeless. But anyway, here is who Mr. T called out by name right here. Meet the Trump judge in New York. Now, watch this guy. He's not bad. He watches himself. He doesn't get fire and brimstone. Robert Govia, Esquire. He's an actual attorney. And he gives reasoned discussions about what is happening. And I can say this, after today, unless something else official comes out, anybody with a law license that says anything that is contrary to the law, to try to put this in a good light, make speculations that are fantastic, they need to keep their mouth shut. Or they need to be sitting in front of the bar. And like I said, if the bar don't take action against these people that are stirring up vitriol, stirring up a bunch of rumors and nonsense, then we need to take a look at the bar. Congress needs to take a look at the Bar Association. Okay? But the bar better start stepping up. Now, Trump called this judge out by name. He's been calling him out by name. And his daughter, let's see, I'm sure you all have seen that, but I got a picture here. And I want to ask you a question. Y'all take a look at this. This picture, there he is again. There's the first picture. And there's the second one right up here. Does he look to you like he's got that permanent mascara a la, who was Shepard Smith? Got tattooed mascara, and Michael Jackson got tattooed mascara. Just me. But anyway, daughter of judge on Trump case worked on Biden-Harris campaign. The daughter of Judge Juan Mercon, who is overseeing Trump's case, worked on the Biden-Harris campaign, according to the report. Now, as I'm a layman, but as far as I'm aware, when you have something dealing with someone at the level of a Donald J. Trump, who I likened to last night as the most important person on the planet right now, really for the last 7 years, you have to be on your P's and Q's from a judicial standpoint. And this kind of a conflict, especially as Mr. T pointed out, that this is a judge that oversaw, if I'm not mistaken, the conviction of one of Mr. Trump's employees, a 75-year-old man, who they offered 90 days in jail if he pled guilty, or 10 years if he lost in court. Now, if he would have said something bad about Trump, he wouldn't have got a day. And this is the judge that presided over that. And this person was convicted for not writing off something like a rental car the company paid for. This specious accusation, this ethereal accusation of not writing off the value of that rental car on his taxes. Can you imagine, people? Everybody that worked for Twitter, everybody that was a diversity hire, that was nothing but a censorship leg breaker for the DS, the deep, and the other word is state. Look how much free stuff they got. Wine, grapes, a workout room, yoga, all this stuff. And do you think they wrote it off on the taxes? According to this the case that this judge handled, they're all lawbreakers, okay? All of them. But anyway, Trump has pointed out that this person should recuse himself immediately. But as far as I'm concerned, he deserves impeachment, and he deserves his taxes to be looked at, his bank accounts looked at, along with the rest of his family members, just like they did with DJT. Okay, so we're gonna. Hey, this is only the beginning. Only the beginning. And that is why shivers have been sent. And I can tell you that judge that you're looking at had the nerve to tell Mr. President Trump, be careful. You don't. The court is enjoining you. That's the way I've heard people get enjoined by the court before, enjoining you not to speak in a manner that will incite people. When the behavior of this legal system, the behavior of this media is what is inciting the people. And the people are showing their maturity, okay? Their maturity and their ability to handle this. And yeah, we've got a quiet fury, and we're going to let it out. And whoever's closest to when we lift the cap up and let that hot steam out, so want to get burned the most. And the more they do to harm him, the closer they're going to get to that steam being let off. But we're not going to blow. We're just going to keep scalding him in a theoretical sense. But as far as what's going around the world, give people an idea what's going on. White House threat of unrest over Trump trial. We are ready. So they were claiming that there would be unrest by Trump supporters, and they're ready. Okay, we know what's going on. Donald Trump will not be handcuffed after the verdict is announced. He is under constant surveillance by the Secret Service. Okay, so people were keeping track of that all the way around the world. And this is Donald J. Trump Jr. put this flag out. Donald Trump's son posts upside down U.S. flag on social media after his father's arrest. So that brings me my mind back to when I first started doing videos over a year ago, where a quote veteran said that somebody hangs a flag upside down around him, he's going to do this and going to do that, whatever. It is the international sign of distress. Okay, an upside down flag. That's an international sign of distress. But these armchair warriors, that a lot of them are responsible for people getting all fired up and thinking something's going to happen. And then the balloon gets popped and they get even more frustrated. They lose their energy. They lose their hope. You know, those are the types of things I want to try to stay away from. But I'm showing you that, yes, you can fly the flag upside down as a symbol of distress. And we're going to flip that sign back around by the time this is all over with. But this is another thing that was posted. Trump under arrest, live updates. He is officially the first president to face criminal charges when he appears in court after his historic indictments. And it is a garbage pail indictment, but I still want to show everybody this. Here's another Telegram site that this is from the Middle East Spectator. Breaking. Now, this is stuff Mr. T was talking about. That Trump can handle himself, but he's telling us for things us not to forget and to keep an eye out for and to talk with each other about and to wake people up with. Iranian and Saudi foreign ministers will meet on Thursday in the Chinese capital, Beijing. There you got three of them meeting, Iranian, Saudi, and Chinese, okay? Then Bahrain. The time has come for a positive relationship with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Sheikh Khalifa, okay? Then from the Middle East Spectator, Jordan, strengthening ties with Iran is a national responsibility. Got Jordan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and China. And then you throw in there Modi and Russia. Hey, it's all coming together and gelling together. And that's where you get that picture of the U.S. dollar rest in peace, right? Now, don't panic over that, but I say it's smart to diversify your money, but into and I've been saying for a long time, in my opinion, money is not worth a hoot if it's not backed by precious metals. We're on a petrodollar since Richard M. Nixon passed that 19, and I played the video. I'll play them again in the future. But right now I'm trying to cover a lot of different little things and not get too cluttered in the studio. But here you have Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest oil suppliers. As Mr. T said, we got more under our feet than in their whole country. Okay, we're on liquid gold. So if Saudi Arabia's got tons of oil, Russia's got tons of oil, we've got tons of oil. How can you base your currency on something that is almost as available and fluent as water? A biological byproduct of life. Carbon is a nutrient. Trees grow from carbon. Okay? We breathe out oxygen. We breathe in oxygen, the trees breathe out. Okay? The trees breathe in carbon. What do they want to suffocate the trees? Is that what they're trying to do? But Saudi Arabia, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman says he is no longer interested in pleasing the United States and, quote, doesn't care what Biden thinks of him. This is in the Wall Street Journal. So, of course, they don't respect him. So that stuff is bouncing all over the world. And there was some talk last night, too, about the night before last, bombing in St. Petersburg. I've got some footage of that. I'll show you tomorrow, maybe. The interrogation. I can show you the actual boom. But they caught this one of two young ladies that smuggled a figurine into the cafe where it happened. I thought it might have been a drone. But it was brought in a figurine, and he lost his life. And here you have the flag of Russia, which is fighters of PMC Wagner installed over the building of the city of the administration of Artemovsk. Looks like this. And that is another term for the city I was telling you all about, Bakhmut, which was a key to the defense of Ukraine that is falling to the Russian army. They have put a tribute on that flag to the person who lost her life at that cafe. On it is written, to Vladlen Taratsky, eternal memory. And from the bottom, it is a tribute from all of Russia. Hi, Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? And Mike 1176, how are you doing? So I will go over that more detail concerning that St. Petersburg incident. I just wanted to bring it up to show you. I try to keep up with everybody and their concerns, guys, because I'm concerned about it also. There's so much going on. But if we think about it and talk about it like we're doing now in a cogent adult manner, you'll retain it in your mind. And when somebody says, well, whatever, or you can just bring it up in casual conversation. And guess what? Nothing you're talking about is a conspiracy. Nothing. It's all facts of the matter. This Trump judge, okay, Mr. Mascara here, okay, and what he's done to a 75-year-old employee, and how his writings, how he hates Mr. T, and how his daughter worked for competing campaigns. I tell you, I look for little signs of hope. Okay, little signs of hope, because they're not little. They're big to me. So somebody posted this, a repost from someone named Magdalena, 2017 versus 2020. I thank who? God for what he did in those 3 years. I stopped hanging out with people who were bad for me, letting them influence me, self-harming, being anxious and depressed, listening to music that made me feel terrible, being angry, being lukewarm, and looking like a clown. Now here she is, 2017 to 2020. And I've talked about it and talked about it before in my past broadcasts, how people are coming to an age where hopefully, praise God, that they do not come to harm in some way that cannot be reversed. Okay, when they do the things they're talking about doing, it causes harm. Okay, now whether it's going to be reparable or irreparable is the key. Because we're going to be dealing with thousands of misdirected youth, and we're going to be dealing with a lot of criminal physicians, I'm telling you, and a lot of criminal educators, a lot of criminal therapists, a lot of criminal psychologists. Nobody's going to walk away from this. Nobody. And thank goodness, this young lady, much like the one I played the video when she said she turned to Christ, and is trying to turn her life around. She said, thank God for what I did in those 3 years. So there's Magdalena. And it's something you can take a screenshot with and show that there's still hope. Now, they told Mr. T, here he is. Here he is when he got to the, wait a minute, what happened there? When he got to the airport, you take a corrupt judge down. Here he is when he showed up, where they had drones flying around everywhere. There's Mr. T. I took a freeze frame of him right when he was halfway from the steps of his plane. Former president touched down in New York ahead of his arraignment Tuesday. I got a freeze frame of him halfway across from the ladder to the vehicle, and I told you that this corrupt judge told him to not say anything incendiary. But here's one more thing I could put on top of that. I was looking for something about Nancy I'll talk about in a second, but this one came up here. Now, tell you those people, that judge, that mascara judge, wants to tell somebody the stature of Donald J. Trump, wants to tell him to be careful of his speech. Look at Pelosi. Reportedly said she plans to pull Trump out of the White House by his hair. I was looking for a specific quote that I had a long time ago, before I ever thought I'd be doing videos, where she said she felt she did her job with the impeachment because she scarred him. And she ran her claws down her own arm and said, we scarred him. And so if I can find that and put these things up, because there's plenty, if you go looking up in YouTube, Tizzle, you can find plenty of where that judge, who shouldn't even be in the picture anyway, he shouldn't even be in a robe, he shouldn't be sitting behind a bench after this. His career is finished. But what he should be doing, if he was a viable person, which he is no longer, is telling exactly what I just said. Exactly what I just said to Nancy Pelosi and these other characters we deal with. So here's the genius right here. Bragg, you think he did this on his own with his big gulp or whatever that is? This is from the New York Post. There he is. There's a real statesman right there, a real authority, a real professional we should all look up to, sucking on sugar water, pink sugar water. Can't button his shirt and put on a tie. But anyway, you think he did this by himself? This is hundreds of New York City prosecutors. I talked about this last night. Quitting woke bosses and honest reforms. 59 have walked from January through May from Queens to Staten Island offices. Did not respond to requests for data. But anyway, hey, the persona you put out, but this just shows you that there's somebody else behind this character. Somebody else shoving him. And this is a picture I didn't get to put up last night. I put this one up first, and I'll put the freak up. But anyway, here's a good response. Reporter, please comment on Trump's repeated call for protests. Trump lawyer Alina Habba. I put her up last night too. So like when BLM called for protests, okay? We're ready. We've got the history behind us. We've got the videos. We've got the proof. And with the Truth and Reconciliation Act, these characters in the media are going to have to play along. Or like I said, there needs to be some press credentials taken away from people. And of course, it's going to be difficult to do that without the White House, right? And I had this one. I didn't get to put this one up, but I did mention where Biden said that they shape our nation's soul. So this is a good one you can get a screenshot of and say, well, there's nothing wrong with that, right? You say, so you say, as Christ said. So you say, here's a picture of who's shaping this nation's soul, talking to that little innocent girl right there. What do you think is behind that pink wig? What do you think? It's somebody that should never be within 100 feet of a little child. And that's going to be addressed, and that's what's got them scared half to death, because they can't rewind the clock. They can't take away and erase what they've done. And there's a record of what they've done. And there are victims. There are victims like Chloe and victims like that other young lady that I put up who are going to want retribution, okay? And oh my gosh, can you imagine being one of these people that are answerable? Now here's a good example. California State Senator Scott Wiener calls Christian organization a hate group for saying men cannot have a menstrual cycle. All right? So these are the people that have got to be taken care of. Yeah, those are all young people, Cindy. Wrist Flex, she used to go on with Kirsten W. And I've talked about Tim Pool, yeah. I watched H.A. Goodman today. He's a little repetitive, but I watch him. Can we liberate California already? Falafel says, well, Ronald Reagan did. He won it big time. I know that was in 1980 and 1984. 1984. But we can liberate California. Don't you worry about that. And I thought this was a picture for everybody to take a look at, because who's going to be eating our lunch if we don't get somebody in there who can take over it, okay? I would like to have some honey. Could I have some honey? Hi, Lori. You got to rewind, Lori. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Gary, you're right. She's 85 and she's drinking BL00D. Gary, BL00D. Oh my, I got a notification. Oh my goodness. All right, there's someone, and I will find the name when I can go in the app. Someone supported me with some coffee, and I have the notification. Sometimes it's hard to see on the screen. Boom, bang. Let me see what kind of special effects I got. I don't want to blow up a panda bear, but is that a panda bear or a Winnie the Poop? Let's see. Boom. Bang! Buy me a coffee. Thank you for the buy me a coffee. Here, a fly bird across there. Poo-poo bear. Cindy Full Stevenson said, "Oh, you really? I'll take care of him. Where's my machine gun? Find that. Got it here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to shoot a bear, but it does. Maybe they took it off my screen. Because made it not available. No, here it is. Bang, 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 bang. I wonder if you all can see that. But anyway, one more bomb. Boom. Pow. So anyway, thank you for the buy me a coffee. Hi, Bambi. How are you doing? Bambi says she'll never be able to look at Winnie the Pooh again. That's right, Mike. Everything is in God's hands. But hey, like I said, you got to come to Christ, and we got to do our part. Our part. Christ isn't going to wear his sandals out chasing down the Pharisees. They came and tried to trip him up. And they all thought they were right. They were holy, right? And they weren't. And oh well, we all know where they're at. Now, I tell you, here's something else, some more, I'll call it resistance. Resistance to this pink-haired thing you see on the screen. South Woke Airlines billboard appears in Dallas area mocking woke airline with images of their executives in drag. So as a lot of you may know, Southwest Airlines painted their planes with all this rainbow nonsense and garbage, and somebody rented this billboard out and put them all up there. And I'm sure their ticket sales are dropping. I mean, can you imagine going into the grocery store and buying a 12-pack of Bud Light? No, not me. Exclusive South Woke Airlines billboard appears in South Dallas, Fort Worth area for April Fool's Day, mocking woke airlines. Group calling itself Shut Up and Fly demanded the airlines pay more attention to landing signals instead of virtue signals. So, yeah, it's good to report stuff like that when it happens, right, folks? And I tell you, I do want to go over what's happening in Africa, the continent of Africa, not South Africa. There is a backlash to what has been happening and what the official U.S. policies has been toward African nations as far as basing their foreign aid on them embracing what you see with that pink-haired person on stage, right? And they are very much against it, and there's a big backlash. But anyway, here's a meme for you: Trump arrest, Nashville Manifesto, media, and at the bottom, China, Russia, Brazil, India, and South Africa destroy the U.S. dollar. So yeah, there's a lot going on that we're not paying attention to. We're paying attention to, I'm saying Americans in general, the ones who are just like, oh, good, we're going to lock up Trump. Those fools better wake up. Those fools better wake up, because that the money, when it starts shrinking, they're going to know. And it's going to happen overnight. But if we're prepared, okay, we're not going to have to deal with the brunt of it like they are. So, let's see. What's this mess here? This is something I had in there. Glenn Youngkins. We should teach all that when... just got to show you, this is Virginia governor. Everybody was hanging their hat on with Virginia, which is right next to D.C. We should teach all of that. When Jag Tapper brings up the 1619 project during CNN town hall, we must step back and teach all that. And then we have to recognize where we are today. So, yeah, they're not all what they're cracked up to be sometimes. He made a lot of promises, and it looks like he's backpedaling on a lot of promises too. So don't put all your trust in them. As far as I know right now, the only one who has been taking the lumps and fighting for us without fail has been DJT, and that's who I'm paying attention to, who I'm listening to, and who I'm standing behind. Here's one for you. Share it on FB, Facebook. All you got to do is look at who hates him. That's all you got to do is look at who hates him, and you know what the score is. You know you're on the right side. So anyway, folks, I'm coming up on my hour. I appreciate you all being with me and spending your precious time with me. And I appreciate everyone who supported the channel with the Buy Me a Coffee link. And please hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live, so we can walk together through these truly historic times. I, in my secret heart of hearts, am hoping in the coming weeks that justice starts getting dispensed. We shall see, and we'll keep an eye on it. But until then, I will see you every night until things settle down a bit, or if it picks up, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. So you all have a great evening. This is Mountain Man, over and out.